Hi everyone, John here with some pre-market analysis. In my last video, we talked about this pocket of potential resistance. We did come back on top to this pocket. You can see it's also matching up with that 200 moving average on the hourly chart. Since then, it's sold off back to the downside. This is S&P's 500s. Same thing with the NASDAQ. NASDAQ was coming up into resistance. Since then, selling off to the downside. Now we could correct even further down. You can see that we do have a gap. We're at 383 and some change. I'm not saying it's going to get there right away. We may staircase back down to that level. Diamonds over here, we're also showing some signs of weakness. We do have a gap to fill, 346 on the hourly chart. We are establishing a series of lower highs as well. Taking a quick look at the Russell 2000, trading above the 200 moving average on the daily, but below the 200 moving average on the hourly. It's going to be a mixed bag in the small caps. Now let's take a quick look. We talked about 3M just a couple days ago. I still like this chart. If you look on my channel, you can see some of the picks. Let's go over them one by one. So 3M, the last couple of sessions, the markets took a beating, but you can see this chart continue to find strength back to the upside. What you can do here, if you want to go long for the long haul, talking about just holding stock, collecting dividends, selling cover calls, this is an excellent pick. Of course, none of this financial advice. Take a quick look at Procter & Gamble. Procter, even though we're up at these higher levels, it is still finding strength. You want to find stocks that are finding strength to the upside when all the other stocks are selling off. Let's take a quick look at the Q. The top holdings, we got Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon. So let's go through these one by one. But if you start to get a lot of selling off in Microsoft, we're going to see NASDAQ continue to sell off. We're seeing some weakness. I'm looking at this chart. Okay, so over here, we did tag this new recent high. This is definitely not the area you want to go long. You want to go long when nobody else is looking at the stock. Now we got a series of lower highs and lower lows. Social trading below the 200 moving average on the hourly chart. Okay, what do we have next? So a quick look at Apple. These are just popular stocks people like to look at. So this guy, we also talked about this in my last pre-market. We were coming up into a pocket of potential resistance, currently using that pocket of potential resistance to sell off. We do have earnings coming up in the second, so just don't make a decision right away. See what happens after the second and make your decision. So Meta is starting to fill the gaps, right? So over here, let's take a quick look, drawing some horizontal lines right around 400. Okay, so when you have a gap down like this, you may attempt to fill this gap, and we do have this resistance right here, and from here we may get more downside correction. So that's what I'm looking at for Meta. For people that are just short-term trading this, they might be finding some strength over the next couple of days. If you find a lot of buyers come into the NASDAQ, a lot into tech, then this may fill that gap, okay, into that pocket of potential resistance, and from there you want to look for some shorting opportunities into this resistance for more downside correction. So that's a potential play that you could look at. So Broadcom, I think last time I went over this a while back. So we were over here in this juncture, and this is like last year, and got up above $1,400, and over at these levels, now we're seeing some weakness across the markets. It's definitely not a place I want to go long. Let's take a quick look at some of the picks. We got some of the stocks over in the Dow. Okay, so let's take a quick look at Amazon. Amazon is so surprisingly holding on strong. We do have a pocket of potential support, a gap to fill right around 158. Okay. Boeing, okay, this is downside corrections all around. It's already trading below the 200 moving average on the daily as well as the hourly chart. So if you're looking for a shorting opportunity, this may be a place to do it. Before, we're looking to go long on this over here. We didn't go long simply because it was trading below the 200 moving average. We needed strength to get back up above this 200. Right now, it's deciding that we're going to go down to the downside. So you could find some great shorting opportunities, staircasing back down, finding some symmetry resistance. Alright, so IWM is quickly filling these gaps. We may hit some oversold conditions, looking for some bounce back to the upside, but it's going to bounce right back up into the resistance, and from here, more downside corrections. That's what I'm looking for IBM. So there aren't a lot of great picks for longs. If you want to look for longs, you're going to find it in the small caps, or you're going to find an opportunity such as 3M. People are ignoring great opportunities because nobody's really talking about 3M. It's just like when Nvidia was in a complete mess a couple years ago, when it was selling off right here at this juncture. In 2023, it started to get back up above this 200 moving average on the daily chart. That's where you got to pay attention. This whole time, it was just getting hammered in the news. Okay, another stock that is also similar, Netflix. So a couple years ago, got hammered to the downside. A lot of bad publicity. So you can draw a trend line, right? And from here, okay, we're going to find some strength back to the upside. It's going to start to show strength first in a smaller time frame. But when it first gets up above this 200 moving average, you got to pay attention to stuff like this. So I'm just looking for patterns that may repeat themselves over and over again. I'm not saying this is a for sure thing for 3M. So you still got to position the size correctly, set your stop loss, all that, and trade according to your trading plan. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, any other symbols you want me to review, leave them in the comments below, and I'll follow up in the next video. Hi everyone, John here. I recently put together a PDF on Fibonacci trading. You guys can check out the link in the descriptions below. I'll put it in the comments. Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? We go over setups in cryptocurrencies as well as US equities to help you grow your account. Subscribe now and hit that notification button. We look to hearing from you in the comments area.